Good afternoon. I'm Hugh Foulke. I'm a school board member now in the Ferndale School District, and I'm a former school employee at Ferndale. Many years ago, I taught civics and history at Ferndale High School. I'm happy to give a comment about the Gateway Pacific project. As we saw last night in the debates, the United States has a great debt and it's in economic trouble, and we need jobs and we need to create wealth. The Gateway project, as I understand it, will help us ship natural resources overseas to markets in India and China, and that has got to help us economically. So the project's good for the United States in general and our economy, and it certainly helps or will help Whatcom County economy with jobs and an increase in the tax base. The tax base increase is very important for schools, but I'll get into that in a minute. But schools depend and public services depend on that tax base. So China and India are actually in the market. They are growing economies, and they need the natural resources and products that we would like to sell, and that'll help our economy. Another issue is the environment. Everyone talks about it, and there's lots of people out there that have hesitations about the environment. I live at Sandy Point, which is very close, or it's within a couple of miles of three major industries. And if the Gateway project is approved, it will join those three major industries that are actually neighbors of mine. I've lived here since 1962, and in that time we've never experienced any significant pollution. I mean, practically speaking, no pollution at all. Those industries have been good neighbors, and I expect pretty much the same thing from the Gateway project. I've personally looked at the scoping process in the environmental impact statement steps. The public can expect that the industries that will move here and have been here will have gone through a lot of steps to make sure that they are safe and good for the environment. The EIS statement is pages long, and so I think both from traditions, existing state law, and the whole EIS process will secure Whatcom County from an environmental point of view as far as this is concerned. My major point for being very interested in the Gateway project is what I see it may do for Ferndale schools. If the project comes through in about 4 years, after the approval process and after construction is completed, the Gateway project will add about $1.5 million to the Ferndale school budget each year. And the impact of that represents, I'm going to guess, somewhere between 3 and 5% of Ferndale schools' annual budget, operating budget. Not school construction, but the operating budget. And that percentage will just help all taxpayers in the Ferndale School District with paying for schools. In effect, it will lower each taxpayer's burden as far as school taxes are concerned. So that'll be a big help for all of us. Then there's a whole bunch of people in the Ferndale School District and in this neighborhood that are unemployed, and the policy that Gateway Pacific is following is to hire locally, and the impact of that is that people that are unemployed now in the Ferndale area will have a much better shot at getting a job. That's I understand, a fairly well-paying job, over $50,000 or $60,000 a year, and that will do a whole lot for local citizens. And people that are out of work. And then there's spin-off during the construction process. There will be people that will get temporary jobs. But in the long run, there'll be something in the order of 200 to 300 permanent employees getting good wages. And that has got to help kids in school, not only from an attitude point of view, but they'll have folks that can pay for equipment, school supplies, and all that. That overall will help school kids. And another very big issue is sometime down the road, Ferndale schools will have to do something about North Bellingham Elementary School and Custer Elementary School. They very definitely need major modification or major improvement or renovation, perhaps even a brand new school. And it would be very nice to have a big neighbor taxpayer helping out the taxpayers of Ferndale in the whole process of coming up with major repairs for those schools or even new schools. So from a narrow point of view, as a school board member, I'm excited to contemplate with my fellow board members the possibility of having a better shot at improving those schools. And so finally, I'll be making those kinds of remarks at the EIS reviews this coming Saturday at Squalicum High School. That's this Saturday, 27th, at Squalicum High School at 11 a.m. There's a means there that people can come in and make their comments in support of the whole project.